Hi, I'm Brick Road, and I already recorded an hour of Final Fantasy. God damn it, but then it was a big thunderbolt, and the power went out, and I lost all my progress, and now I have to start over from the beginning. That's my start over from the beginning noise. Okay, so... James gave me a team, and he gave me an actual pretty goddamn good team. Like, I'm basically going to bend this game like over my knee and just spank it until it's red and raw and screaming for mercy. The first thing you do in Final Fantasy is go kill Garland, so we're going to do that with style. Let's talk about this party just a little bit. Up front we've got Jim and Will, and having two fighters in the front of your party is kind of brokenly good. Like, their ability to wear heavy armor and their high HP total means that they will basically tank all of the damage I'll receive for the entire game. I probably won't be in much danger of a full party wipe. Like, a lucky hit against the backline might still kill my backline dudes, but that's fine. We can just deal with that when the time comes. In the third rank, we have Cole, who is a black belt, who right now isn't very good, but as he levels up, he will become the highest damage dealing potential in this team. Like, single target damage, nothing beats a high level black belt with the fast spell. The fast spell is why we have Rio in the back line. His job, he's actually has several jobs, a lot of variance in what he's going to be doing. Early on in the game, he's going to be doing a lot of area of effect damage. He's going to, so he can like blast a whole group of monsters with one spell. He'll be doing a lot of that. He'll be doing a lot of buffing in boss fights, casting fast to make Jim and Will and Cole deal a lot more damage with their attacks. And he will be a heal bot for part of the run. He will spend a lot of turns just waving the heal staff around. I am playing this game at 150% speed. I think that's probably best for everybody involved. It doesn't really increase the technical challenge of the game at all. I'm sorry, I've said all this before, and I'm saying it again, and I'm going to get to a point in this recording where I don't know where, like, did I already tell that story? Am I repeating myself? So if I say the same thing twice in the same video, you're not having deja vu, it's just me having an argument with the elements. Here's Garland. He's the first boss. He's like barely even a boss. Like, this is not even going to be a thing. So this is the first Let's Play in a series that you will see for the Talking Time fundraiser. And I don't know just yet what all games I'll be playing for that, but I'm sure you will probably see a mix of really good, fun games that people wanted me to play, and really terrible games that they knew I would hate because they want to watch me suffer. We have a lot to look forward to. The first one, on my way back, is Final Fantasy. I have Let's Played this game a whole bunch of times in screenshot format on the Talking Time forums, and they wanted to see videos, so here we go. This first Let's Play is for John B., who was one of the donors to the fundraiser, and his son James is who built my party for me, which I have to kind of approve of that. Introducing your young children to the classic games while they're young and impressionable. I remember when I was a kid, the oldie station around our area, every Sunday morning, they played a music block called Breakfast with the Beatles. The idea being they played just like 2 solid hours of Beatles music every Sunday morning. So you were supposed to wake up and have breakfast with a band from the 60s. And I was young at that time, so I didn't have a good taste in music, of course, and I kind of didn't care about oldies or anything, and it didn't make any sense to me why the Beatles were so... I don't like this fight at all. I'm just going to get out of Dodge. It didn't make any sense to me why the Beatles were good music or culturally relevant or any of that. But one week, it was my brother's birthday, and my parents called in to request a particular Beatles song. I don't remember what song it was now, but for his birthday. And so the DJ comes on, and here's how he introduces the song. He says, "And this one's for our little Beatle buddy Kevin." My brother's name is Kevin in this story. You know, if you grow up with the Beatles, you grow up with the best. At the time, I was young, and I thought that was really stupid and dorky, and why would you care about some old stupid band? But now that I'm an adult and I've had quite a bit of experience in this cynical world of ours, I have to look back and, oh, okay, that's actually very sweet and quaint that, you know, you want to expose your children to the things that you love in the ways that you love them. And so they appreciate why the old games are good. It's like, that's not Call of Duty. I don't want to play that old pixelated mess with the beepy music and the little red guy. What? But to understand why these games have an important part in our history, to me, is important. And I understand that now as an adult. So now that a lot of my friends are having children, and a lot of them are going back and showing them the old games, getting them started on Final Fantasy, or Zelda, or Super Mario Brothers, or what have you, and that is the correct way to parent. So that's just a message that I wanted to give to all you out there who have youngins, and you are doing it this way. You parenting good! You can put that on a coffee mug and drink out of it. So, there are a lot of misconceptions about Final Fantasy. I know everything about this game. I can break this game in half just by looking at it. And one of the misconceptions is that not every party is viable. Like, a party like this is great no matter how you slice it, but there's a lot of misconceptions, like, if you don't have a fighter, or if you don't have a white mage, you're not going to win, because you need those kind of, you need a tank, and you need a healer. And I'm here to tell you that that's just not true. Every party in this game is viable, and I have played. I can only afford one scimitar. Dang it, I wanted to afford 2 scimitars. I bought too many tents. I'm going to go outside and just earn 20 gold real quick. Hopefully fight something really easy. That way I can... This ought to do it. This is good enough. Then I'll have 2 scimitars. Works for me. So that's one of the misconceptions. Like, you can beat this game with 4 black mages. I've done it. It's a really fun party. You can beat this game with just a single character. They're called solo runs. Most of them are very challenging and very frustrating. Only one of them is borderline impossible, though. I have completed the other 5. So a lot of this game is figuring out the best way to leverage your party's advantages and then be successful. With 2 fighters, it kind of doesn't matter, because your party's advantages are so huge. I better sell those rapiers so I can afford an in-stay when I get back to Canaria. Yeah, gonna be cutting it close. Let's equip those. Put Will in the front there, so absorb a little bit of damage. Another of the misconceptions in this game is you have to spend a lot of time grinding. Like, the idea is that this game is similar to, say, Dragon Quest, and that most of what you do in the game is just running around fighting random encounters because there's nothing else to do in the game, and you need to be on a certain level to beat certain bosses, and that's just not true. This is going to be a tough fight. I think I want to take the Sahags out. You know, let's try to take the Sahags out first. Put Will and Jim on the Sahag and see how that comes out for me. Oh, I didn't need both of them on one Sahag. One of them might have missed, though, so that was probably smart. This particular party, the first real challenge in the game is fighting the Zoidbergs in the Marsh Cave to get the crown. That's like the first thing in the game that's really actually, like, difficult. And every party has a way to get through that fight, and it varies from party to party. In a party with a white mage, for example, you can pretty much win that fight. Come on, let's hit that Sahag and get rid of him. You can pretty much win that fight on any level you want. Just, you go into the fight, you cast Ruse, and then none of the Zoidbergs can hit you. And that's how she go. With this party, my advantage is that I will have the spell Lit 2, which will do a lot of damage. Zoidbergs are not weak to the Lit spell, but they are also not resistant to it, the way they are resistant to fire and ice magic. So going into that fight with Lit 2 gives me a really good chance of victory, regardless of what level I'm on or anything like that. Here's the problem, though, is that Rio will not be able to cast Lit 2 until... Did I buy any pure potions? No. I should buy a pure potion before I go get some free cash. He won't be able to cast Lit 2 until level 5. So, this particular party does have to do a little bit of level grinding here at the beginning of the game. I will have to kill sea monsters until I'm level 5, because without Lit 2, I just don't stand a chance against the Zoidbergs. I won't be doing much, if any, level grinding after that point. Once I've got Lit 2, I will pretty much be set for the entire game in terms of being on the correct level and having the correct level of power for each new challenge that arises. So you will see quite a lot of that. Also at level 5, Jim and Will get their second hit with that Scimitar, which means that their damage potential will be doubled and they will miss enemies a lot less frequently. So level 5 is a huge boost to this party's power level. I think Cole... Oh, Monster Strike first, and it's an Ogre and 3 Creeps. I don't like that at all. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. Come on, get out of here before Will dies. Oh, thank goodness. Let's heal up a little bit. There we go. So the reason I keep switching Jim and Will's position is because, let's say that I just decided to commit to having Jim as my party leader the way he is right now for the whole game. Whoever is the party leader in that top spot takes 50% of the physical attacks that the monsters throw at you. Like, they just eat them. And there's nothing you can do about that. And since most of the damage in the game comes from physical damage like that, physical attacks, that means that most of the game, Jim's hit points will go way down, and then I'll have to heal him, and that's where most of the damage will be going. Whereas Will would get through most of the game relatively safe. By switching the positions of Jim and Will, I can make one of the fighters take more hits than the other one, and kind of keep their HP about even. And I can, in that sense, I can use their hit points as a resource. I need to get to the... Oh, I can't afford Lit 2 yet. Let's go stay at the end here. Well, let's exhaust my Lit spells and then stay at the end. I can use their HP as a resource, so I can get much, much further without having to heal either one of them. Like, right now, one of my fighters has like 80 hit points, the other one has 50. The one that has 50 is technically weaker, but he's in the second row, which means he is much less likely to be attacked. So those 50 hit points will go a lot further than they would if he was in the front line. Most of the healing that players do in this game throughout history, most of the reason why a lot of people have the opinion that you need to have a white mage in the party to heal everybody is because most of that healing is just going to keeping the party leader alive, because people don't know enough to switch that leader out when he takes a couple hits. I'm going to be doing that with Jim and Will, so they're going to be taking a lot of the damage. So that's lesson number 1. If you want to succeed at Final Fantasy, put 2 fighters in the party, because it is totes easy mode. Like, wow.